Hi, class. Welcome to the first week of Technologies of Communication. It's so great to have you. My name is Allison Jones, and I will be your instructor this term. If you would like to get to know me a little bit better, please watch this video here in announcements, or you can go to the Meet Your Instructor tab here and read a little bit about me. So let's talk about what we have going on this week. The first thing I always tell my students to do is review all of the announcements. Really important to do that because I will post announcements about the different assignments you have, different deadlines you have, also helpful resources, in addition to university announcements. So you want to make sure that you are reading the announcements every day. And then once you've done that, then you can go into your different units for the week. This week, we're going to start off, though, and go to course information since it's our first week of the class. You want to read all about the class and what we're going to be covering in this course. So the course outcomes for this course are to examine the history and evolution of media from traditional forms of digital and social media that has led to the media convergence you're now experiencing, to identify the dynamic shaping and implications of the convergence of information and communication technologies, to analyze and evaluate key social, political, economic, and ethical issues related to the design and use of media and communication technologies, to understand traditional theoretical approaches to examining both traditional and new and social media's influence and effects on individuals and groups, and new theoretical approaches spurred by the internet and social networking, to apply the best practices of social networking to create a professional online presence and electronic portfolio using emerging communication technologies, and to develop a critical awareness of how and why you consume media and the impact its messages may have on you. We have a lot to cover in 8 weeks in this course, but as you can see, it's very, very interesting subject matter. I think you'll enjoy the class very much. So you always want to download your course syllabus. So just click on that and you will see the syllabus here. This again gives you an overview of the course outcomes, the materials that we will be using in the course, how the course grading will be broken down, the grading formula, and a lot of really important information, late work policy, incomplete policy, and other information. So you want to make sure that you really thoroughly read through that. So weekly due dates, we will go over this a little bit more when I get into the modules, but your weekly due dates for your discussions are Wednesdays and then 3 other days during the week, with the last day that you can post on the Sunday of the week. And your assignments are all due on Sunday of the week. So let's take a look now what we have going on in Unit 1. So be sure to read the introduction here to the week. And then we are going to be covering some really important topics in our first week. The first one is convergence. As you saw in the course outcomes we read, that's really an important topic for this course, and we're going to be talking about it quite a lot. We're going to introduce that concept this week. Convergence is really just the idea of what it means to be using a whole variety of different media in your life in the general terms. We're going to be talking about more specifics of that and theories of that and different applications of that. We're going to be talking about social media as it applies to mass media. This week, we're also going to be discussing the history of media, which if you're somebody that has any interest, which I'm assuming you do because of your major and you're taking this course, I think you'll find that very interesting as well. We're also going to be considering what it means to be a media consumer. And we're going to be evaluating and identifying our own digital footprint. So to do that, we have a lot of objectives and activities for this week. Our objectives for this week are to understand the role of technological innovation and evolution of mass, new, and social media. We are going to be defining Jenkins' 5 types of convergence. We're going to discover our own media consumption habits, and we're going to become acclimated to Twitter if you are not already. We're going to be creating accounts for that. So to that end, we have a lot of work to do. The first thing you're going to do when you come into your week is you are going to introduce yourself. Go ahead and do that, please, on Monday of the week. You're going to take a moment to introduce yourself. You're going to share with us your career goals, You're going to share with us the social media applications that you currently use or you'd like to know more about. You're going to review the course goals from the syllabus, which we went over just a few minutes ago, and you're going to identify the ones that are most interesting to you and explain why. And then you're going to reply to 2 of your colleagues in the class, so 2 of your peers. Now, it's very important to remember the dates for discussion boards. So you need to post your very first response to the discussion board by Wednesday of the week. You can post earlier, but if you post later, you will lose points for that. You also need to make sure you are posting 3 days a week. You know what, as I go over this, I'm going to go back to the course information and let's scroll down here. Let's look at this table. So for quantitative points, you need to post 4 academic quality posts. So they need to be substantial. They need to move the discussion forward. You want to avoid "I agree" or "that's correct" kind of statements. They need to be, about 3 sentences long at least. Your initial post needs to be about 300 to 500 words. You're going to post on 3 different days. So your first day is going to be Wednesday, and then you have to post 2 other days. And it has to be done by Sunday. So sometime Monday through Sunday, you need to make your post. And then you want to make sure that all of your posts are proofread for grammar, punctuation, spelling, sentence mechanics. I will be looking at that as well. This is the communications course, and so we want to make sure that we are using correct grammar and punctuation. Please be sure to really think critically about the discussion. You don't want to give just surface answers. You want to dig a little bit deeper and give some real thought to the questions and answer them in an in-depth way. You want to make sure that you're supporting your points, either with examples, you're sharing your own experience by using the textbook or different resources we have in the course. You are welcome to go to and encouraged to go to the library to find sources, or you can do some Google searches. Just make sure you're finding credible sources to support your points. And then make sure that your posts are insightful and relevant and add value to the discussion. So that being said, let's go back to Unit 1. All right, so you've posted your introductions. You also, very early in the week, and I would suggest Monday, begin reading the materials for the week. It's very difficult to participate in the class discussions and complete the assignments without having completed the readings or watching any videos. So we have a few different readings this week, so you want to make sure you go ahead and get to those. This chapter is about 30 pages, and it's a little dense, so you may want to make sure you give yourself plenty of time to read that. And then you want to be sure to watch these 2 videos. And then we're going to discuss media convergence. So you're definitely going to want to read at least this chapter 1 before you begin, because you're going to need to understand what media convergence is. And you're going to particularly be reviewing Jenkins' 5 categories of convergence, and you're going to be talking about those this week. You need to identify which 2 categories of convergence seem most relevant to you and explain why. And again, as I mentioned, you want to be sure to reference your sources. And then, as I mentioned, you need to respond to at least, at a minimum, 2 of your peers, but to get full credit for quantitative posts, you need to respond to 4. So what you can do is post your original post on Wednesday, respond to 2 peers, and then you can respond to one of my questions and get your 4th comment in. And then for your assignment this week, this is a really fun assignment, I think. You're going to be creating a media diary assignment. And so let's open this up. You're going to take this table, and starting on Monday, so Monday morning, you are going to begin completing this media diary. And I think you're going to be surprised at actually how much media you use in a week. I certainly was. So every time you watch television, read a book, surf the internet, listen to music, play a video game, read the newspaper, pick up a brochure, see an advertisement, read a billboard, all of those are different mediums. And you are going to be recording those. I think you're going to be surprised how much we're exposed. You're going to record also the type of media and how you accessed it and for how long you were on the media. Also, you want to note unintended or unwanted media exposure. This would be an example of if you're in the doctor's office and they're playing television, For me, I have unwanted media exposure because my 12-year-old listens to or watches YouTube videos constantly. And so that's an unwanted media exposure that I experience every day. So really think through and have a really critical eye and a creative eye to the media that you're exposed to. So don't just think about Facebook or Spotify. Think about other types of media. There may be some unusual things that you're exposed to. And then finally, a really fun thing we're going to do this week also is set up your own Twitter account. So you may already have a Twitter account that you are using. You may use that if you want to for this course. If you would like to keep that personal, you can set up a second Twitter account if you'd like just to use for this course and delete it at the end of the course. That's fine with me too. You just have to have one. If you are new to Twitter and you have never set up an account before, here is a very helpful page. It's really, really, really simple to set up a Twitter account. And so just follow these steps and set up your account. Here I am. You can see my photograph, and I'll just show you what that looks like. So here is my Twitter account. We'll go to my profile. You can see I have posted a little welcome to my students. You can feel free to reply to that if you want to, but you will have to be communicating with me via Twitter in this course. And so every week, starting next week in Unit 2, you're going to have to post or retweet 14 tweets per week. So you can do 2 a day or, 4 for 4 days or however you want to do it. But this week, we're just going to focus on starting your account. Here are a couple of other resources you can use as well. Here is a heads up on what we have going on next week. Next week, you're going to be setting up a WordPress blog. So if you're new to blogging, we're going to begin with some tutorials. So if you complete all of your Unit 1 work ahead of schedule, you can go ahead and jump to Unit 2 and begin reading the materials on setting up a blog and be, thinking about what kind of content you want to have on your blog, the design, all those kinds of things. So just be giving some thought to that. And of course, if you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out and contact me. So always happy to help my students. So I hope you have a wonderful Unit 1, and I really look forward to getting to know you in class.